You've got this. You have an innate warning system, an information system built right in. Just the fact that you're here listening to this talk means that you're someone who really cares. You're someone who's investing in your future. You're someone who wants to grow and make a difference in your own life and in the life of those around you, the people you love, the people you care about. So here's some things that you'll be really happy to hear about. Number one, when you feel like you've got a gut feeling, like there's something inside you that's telling you, oh, this is a good thing, or oh, maybe we should hold off on that. There's actually science behind it, neuroscience. We have a powerful information system that distributes information across our body in important ways so that we can pick up the cues and make decisions about how to live our life. Just one of them is something called Meissner's web. And it's a web of information that comes from the brain and it attaches to various places along the gut. So when you get upset or you get really excited or you have a really bad foreboding feeling and all of a sudden your stomach is in knots or you feel distress in your digestive system, Meissner's web. It's an actual information system going from your brain to your gut. And you should listen. You're supposed to listen. It is an evolutionary process that is there to help us as humans navigate this really complex world. There's another one that I absolutely love. You know how for decades everybody thought the brain was the master organ in the body, right? Brain is in charge of everything. Wrong. Turns out our heart, our feeling center, is where all the information comes from. There is a massive channel of information going from our heart up to our brain. And then there's information coming from our brain back down. But there's way more information going from our heart upward. And so we can feel things in our heart. It's real. We even have a small group of nerves in the heart that actually seem to think and process much like the brain does. So again, when you're heartfelt about something and you say, oh, my heart just told me that was the right thing, or my heart warned me against it, there's wisdom there because there's actually wisdom in our heart and powerful channels of information going from the heart up to the brain. But wait, it gets better. When the brain has information from the heart coming upward, it can be distributed back down through the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve is a really cool nerve. It's actually kind of nicknamed the traveling nerve because it goes all over the place, right? And the vagus nerve innervates multiple organs. And so we could automatically have a flutter in our heart, take a breath with our lungs, and even feel something tighten up in our gut at the same time. You know, that panic response or that reaction when you see a horror film or if you hear the crashing of a car, that is a real response in our body. That is wisdom being distributed from the brain down through the body by way of the vagus nerve. And there's so much more. So when you begin to understand that those feelings that you have inside of you are actually an information system, you can start to read them. From a mental health and educational perspective, here are some of the ways that we talk about them. There is something called interoceptive awareness. Interoception is your awareness of your organs and what they're doing, right? So if your tummy is really upset, you might feel that tightness in your tummy. You may have bumbles or grumbles or noises or even have an urge to run to the bathroom, right? That can be one of the ways we respond to some big or overwhelming information. We also can feel our heart start to beat faster. You can hear or feel when your heart beats faster. Some people can hear it in their ears, others just feel it as a sensation in their chest or their body. You also might feel a change in blood pressure. If your blood pressure drops, you may start to feel a little bit dizzy or woozy. On the other hand, if your blood pressure is elevated, you could start to have a headache or feel like a pounding in your ears or in your temples. And it goes on and on, all the different ways we can start to notice that something's happening inside of us. So that's interoceptive awareness and interoceptive regulation. And the more we're aware of the changes that are happening inside of our body because of things happening around us, the more we're able to adjust, care for ourselves, and come up with strategies to stay ahead of things, to be stable, and to be more effective. Another way we talk about the way we read our body, because we've got this, we can figure things out, is bodily sensations. Not only do the organs give us messages, right? The heart will beat faster, so we feel the blood pressure rise, or we'll feel the pounding in our temples, but we might feel a tingling sensation in our skin. Our muscles might get tense. I know that when I am under extreme pressure, I have a group of muscles right in the middle of my back that just tighten right up, like somebody has some sort of a rubber band around my spine. That is my tension spot. And I'm aware when I feel that, if I didn't notice already that I was in distress or I was disturbed or upset about something, I sure as heck figure it out when that feeling happens. You may also notice itchy, right? If you're having a reaction to something in the environment or something you ate, you could get itchy. That could be the liver sending a message, or that could be some sort of a reaction. We also might feel hot or cold. That's another way that people sometimes have a reaction. Sometimes when people are really shocked by upsetting or disturbing news, they'll feel a sense of cold go over them. Or if somebody gets really agitated and upset, they may actually get hot under the collar. You've heard the phrase hot under the collar, and they may start sweating. These are all powerful and incredible ways that we can start to read our body systems in order to interpret when the body is giving us a message. Our subconscious is speaking to our body and giving us powerful signals that give us an idea of whether something is good for us or whether maybe it's not so good. So please know that built inside of you is this incredible early warning system. When we're working with individuals, say with autism, they may not pick up on social context. They may not exactly follow the emotions and the mood of the people who are around them. One of the most powerful things we can do is to teach them to read these early warning signs so they know early on that they're starting to get upset. Because sometimes these individuals will wind up melting down, blowing up, having a huge hissy fit. It could be a teenager having what looks like a toddler temper tantrum because they got too overwhelmed and too upset before they noticed it to do something to care for themselves. But this is not just for youth or children with autism. This is for anyone. All of us can be smarter and more aware of our interoceptive tools and our interoceptive messages, as well as the bodily sensations that teach us what we're feeling and when we're in distress. And the most important thing is for you to realize that the heart is the center of our being. And sometimes all we have to do is rub our hands together, cup our faces, love ourselves, love yourself, have compassion for yourself, for whatever you're going through. And then put your hands on your heart and just think for a moment. Be quiet and listen to the messages and process what you feel, because that is just as valid as a thought, as a decision-making process, as an opinion. Our feelings really do matter. So pay attention, tune in, and start processing nature's information pathway, because you've got this.